Today we're going to take a look at a site called Autodesk Homestyler. Now, Autodesk Homestyler is a site that actually allows you to create a model home where you can lay it out in 2D and you can also view it in 3D as well. You can add in windows, doors, they have different furniture, electronics you can add in. So it's really a great site just for students to play around with and design and build and really use their creativity. It's something that they love to do anyway, but it's also great because you can tie it into math as well, where you can have students figuring out the perimeter, the area, the volume of rooms. Of course, it doesn't give you the height of the ceilings, but you could just simply figure out that the ceilings are maybe 8 feet or 10 feet tall and figure out the volume based upon that. So we're going to be doing a project later this year working with this site where students do exactly that, create their own home and then figure out the perimeter area and volume of each room. So why don't we just take a look at the basics of this site in this video. So right here you can see it just gives you a few little tips when you're getting started. First thing you'll want to do is you'll want to create an account because you can save all of your homes to that account, and once you create one account you can just log in all students with that account so that they can all save their homes to just that one. So I'm already logged in, but once you come here there will be a join button and you can create your own account. You can go through, if you have Google, Facebook, Twitter, you can just create an account with those, which makes it pretty easy. So now that I'm logged in, let's just view a few of the basics. Now, a couple things when you start out for our international friends, it will start out using feet and inches for a measurement, but if you want to change that, you can go to view and switch it over to meters instead. So we're going to stick with feet just because that's our standard measuring. Now, what you can do when you start, you're always going to start with the rooms section. So you'll want to add on just a basic room to start. So let's start with just a simple square room. So right now you can see that this room, just a simple square. You can zoom out if you want to see it a little bit smaller. You can zoom in if you want to see it larger. And once you have this room, you can actually just play around with the room right from here. So if you hover over a wall, you can drag it out. Why don't we make this, we'll make it a pretty good size room. Why don't we make it 20 feet by, we'll make it a square again. We'll go 20 feet by 20 feet. Alright, so still working with the square here. And of course you can add on other rooms as well. So you could add on maybe a smaller room. Why don't we add on a smaller room over here? And then we could add on another room over here. And again, we can expand this out a little bit if we want. Now these L-shaped rooms would be great, especially for older students where you're really trying to have them figure out how to find area, perimeter of different shapes, not just a square or a rectangle. For younger students, you might just want to have them simply stick to a square or a rectangle, especially if you're trying to figure out things like volume. And you may also want to direct them to change this to, maybe 9 feet by 7 feet. Just keep them pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward measuring. So now we have the basic layout of our house. Now if you want to see it in 3D, there's a 3D button up here. You can actually click on it and actually start to view just what our house looks like. So we'll go back to 2D because we want to add a few more things on. Maybe let's say you want to add a bathroom on here somewhere. You can add in interior walls. So we're going to add that wall, and then we can drag it out, stretch it out a little bit to make it a little bit larger. So let's say that we make it about 6 feet. We can actually clone that as well, or we can split it. But let's undo that. I don't want to quite do that yet. So you can do that. We can add another one in here as well. You can spin it just simply by clicking and dragging on it. So that one was about 6 feet, so we'll make this one about 6 feet. Alright, so I'm going to play around with this just to get my measurements straight. When we come back for the next video, we'll take a look at how to add a few more things to make this a little bit more detailed.